his finest performance. Rabbi, the Gracie Killer, was just armbar Cohen's Vera. He broke Henzo's arm. I mean, Sakuraba was a bad motherfucker. And Jason picked him apart standing and then got him down and submitted him. And it was a big fight for Jason because it was in Japan, gigantic stadium. And when he submitted him, like, hear this, like picking him apart from the standing, being ground and pound. I mean, this is like elite level stuff. And see, Sakuraba goes for the leg here, but Mayhem was a high level grappler. Like getting a hold of his leg was no fucking picnic. Like, good luck. And now you gave up your back. So he got his back here. He starts beating him up. I mean, like, you know the level of grappling that Sakuraba had. And again, this probably was Sakuraba a little past his prime. But if you know the level of grappling that Sakuraba had, to watch Mayhem like do this and close and to do the fucking the hook 'em horns in the middle of the fight and just beat the shit out of Sakuraba and then eventually submit him. So he softens him up with punches until Sakuraba gets into a position where he can submit him. I mean, he is pounding Sakuraba out. And then he gets to the arm triangle. Here's the arm triangle. And Mayhem's arm triangle, I've been trapped in this before. It's death. Fucking death. It's so good, dude. And it's just perfectly placed. To see Sakuraba tap like that, I remember calling him up and I said, dude, I go, that's some elite shit. You hit some samurai mode. Like you hit your stride. Because it wasn't just who he beat, it was how he did it. It was a big deal.
You know, those good guys, that's their prime, whatever. When they come from wrestling or jiu-jitsu, they're strong.
Oh my God.
Like, there's a guy at my gym, basic training, he's 58. He's a college wrestler. The other day, he was just talking to one of the Russian guys that was also a wrestler. And he just showed the guy something to show you. Let me show you something. Bro, he just grabbed one. I was like, I thought it was a good guy. The grip strength, yeah, he's a tiny guy.
Dude, I met this guy, his last name is Glorious, and he's Lex Friedman's buddy, who is a world champion arm wrestler. Sorry. He's a world champion arm wrestler, and I'm telling you, this guy had like the biggest fucking hands I've ever felt in my life. Let me find his name here. Devin. It is Devin. How do you say it? It's Devin Lorr, right? Larr. Yes, I knew his brother too. I knew his brother back in the day. His brother used to run this body modification extreme website where dudes get like bolts with their head and shit and slit their tongue down the middle. You know, dudes did that. His brother run that website. And dude, I'm telling you, he has the biggest hands I've ever seen experienced in my life. They don't even make any sense. Maybe Shaq has bigger hands, like longer. This dude's hands were like catcher's mitts. They were so big. Like you're shaking his hand, like I guess I'm shaking it. I'm kind of shaking your hand. I'm just putting my hand out there. It's the abyss of what your hand is. Like this just fucking mitt. Just gigantic. He's a professional arm wrestler. Yeah, professional arm wrestler. That's the dude. He's so big. He's so big it's preposterous. And I'm like, hey man, you ever do jiu-jitsu? Because you would fucking murder at it. I guess he did judo. But he's on Lex Friedman's podcast. He's a very interesting guy. He's not just like a big giant guy. He's a very smart guy too. Which is I'm always fascinated by because there's like a lot of brutes out there. Like Josh Barnett's another great example of that. He's a brute, you know, youngest ever UFC heavyweight champion, just gigantic man, but very thoughtful, very introspective, very. He examines ideas carefully and will give you a well thought out analysis of them. Like you can ask him about stuff like, what do you think about this? What do you think about the Canadian truck convoy that's in Ottawa? He'll like give you like a well thought out sort of dissection of what's going on with it. I love when there's like a guy like that.
I could do that here on Super Bowl Sunday. The truckers were going to get together on Super Bowl Sunday.
I heard they were going to go to LA.
Yeah.
I heard they were going to go from LA and they're going to drive all the way to Washington, D.C. If they had to go fund me, they have $10 million. Yeah. 10 million. Wow. Yeah.
They refund people's money or they take it?
They tried to take it. GoFundMe tried to just give it out to various, I think they said they're going to give it out to various charities. And then they changed their mind upon severe backlash where people were furious. Like, they didn't donate money to any charity. They donated money to the Canadian truckers. They're supposed to give it to them. So then they, I don't know, maybe they're deciding that that's a criminal enterprise.
They're funding all money.
Now they are.
Yeah.
But initially, what were they going to do with it?
I think I did read that they were going to pick charity or something like that.
Yeah, you can't have that. You can't just take this money and give it to charity. Not only that, like, who gets to decide what charity? Like, there's a lot of charities where you find out how much money actually goes to the cause, and it's very little. It's disgusting. They're gross. So there's a bunch of charities like that. There's a bunch of like causes that a lot of people got behind, and then you find out like, oh, this is just like a way for people to make money.
I gotta be honest with you. I hope anybody that made me the charity will give me. I have to go background now because I used to work for these dudes. I didn't know, guys. I fucking didn't know. I needed a job with an open mic. In Seattle, you need a fucking job.
Yeah.
You sell, police advertising.
Right.
But when I quit, I found out that the guys aren't even working for the cops. They have this company that's called Police Friends or something. And what they do is all they're required to donate is like 7 cents per dollar. Meanwhile, these two jerk-offs are driving BMWs for the work.
Really?
Yeah, that's all.
7 cents per dollar?
That's it. That's why then if you start looking into other charities, see what they fucking need to give, and your head will spin.
And then you find out the administrative costs.
Yeah,
how much you're paying
good drinking, and they got a nice office. And Sundays they go to fucking fire bowl and jump up and down. So
that's weird, right? Because like they should be able to make something. Like if you're running the Red Cross or you're running,
I don't mind you taking a shot
make something. Someone should get paid.
It better not be more than you're giving those people campaigning for.
There's a website, I think, where you could look up the different charities and how much they give. And each charity has like a different percentage that they give to the crimes or to the causes. And I think some of them are pretty good. You know, some of them they're probably funded by billionaires or should, so they have plenty of capital. They don't necessarily the money that comes in, they don't give a lot of it to whatever the cause is. Some people they'll fund a philanthropic venture like that. They'll, that's like it's a good tax write-off, and it's also a good way for them to feel good about the money. Jeff Bezos' wife, his ex-wife, does that. She's worth. She donates a shitload. Like she sets up stuff. Like that's a nice thing. That's a nice thing to see people doing wealthy like that. Very charitable. But you got to be careful. You got to know where your money's going. You got to know what you're going to be.
Some of these people have to donate their taxes.
Yes. No, you're being honest. Yeah, they do. They donate for taxes.
Check.
Yeah. Yeah. Elon, he has given a lot of taxes, or excuse me, he's given a lot of charity money away this year. He gave something like $6 billion worth. Like the thing that he was supposed to do about world hunger, they think that he actually did contribute that exact amount. I haven't asked him about it, but there's an article about it. What he said he was going to do.
A large number of shares worth like $6 billion.
Yeah, he donated that. That guy's got shit.
I can donate money from my Patreon.
Do you?
When I started the Patreon, it was to help other comedies.
That's why he did it?
Yeah. Doing that. Just help people out. I just take a look. My daughter loves that St. Jude shit and stuff.
Okay, that's a good charity.
That's a good charity because they took care of my niece when she had the cancer. So yeah, so those are the
And I
things.
think even a charity that, like, say 10% of the money gets to the cause, it's still 10% of the money. It wouldn't have gotten to the cause if those people didn't work at it. So it gets kind of weird, right? Like, there's a lot of charities that I'm sure if you look into them, like, how much of the money that comes in goes to administrative costs? Well, administrative costs are real. They really do cost something. Like, it should, like, how else is it going to get paid, right? What percentage is normal? No, what's a reasonable percentage?
All right, if you have a nonprofit, this is why we give this. Okay, if you have a nonprofit, I got no beef with giving Joe Rogan a percentage of what I donate off to the charity work. And you know what? The people who should be working for you should also be doing volunteer work. So if they get paid for 10 hours, they should do 20 hours. Stuff like that. So it's all volunteer from A to Z.
What do you mean? The charity people should
they should be
for free.
You know, you should be giving 10 hours a week to that.
If you're working at a charity, I think you should. I don't think you should have to do it for free. I don't think that makes sense.
Like 20 hours, you can work for 40. You get something out of it. You donate some of your time also. You're retired. You need to get the fuck out of the house. You know, stuff like that. I can understand.
I think it's reasonable to assume that they can do good and get paid. I think it's just, they probably just need more people donating. It's just, I don't know how much is normal. Like, what's a normal amount where a charity takes? Where it's, let's Google that, man. What is a reasonable amount that a charity takes to administrative costs versus to the actual charitable cause? What do you guess? What's normal? No, maybe add a like percentage. What percentage goes to the cause?
I feel
Like you donate $100.
well, we have to be, you know, you have rent,
Right.
you have all that, so you have administrative fees. So I feel 50%. Just to make
That makes sense. 50% makes sense.
I give you 150 is going to go to the kids. I'm in.
That makes sense.
50s for your office, all that stuff. I'm in. I can live with that.
What do you think it is, Jay?
I've already seen the numbers. They're I can't just at the time we get talking to get a good answer. I was seeing anything from 15 to 75% for different, like 15 is average admin cost.
Why don't you just Google this phrase? What percentage of charitable donations actually go to the cause?
It's giving me the same answer for what I
So it just varies so much.
Yeah, it depends. And then
What one gets 75% of the cost?
this is the typical charity spends 75% of its budget on programs. So then, but like museums are considered in the charity in some situations. So like they might have to spend more for particular reasons. And they might have security guards that they pay, and other charities don't.
Right. That's a good point.
The world.
It's like Hollywood accounting. They got to make sure that
Hollywood accounting is wild.
Hollywood accounting is wild, so they got to make sure that.
You hear people argue like in court about like how much money we made. Like we lost money on this movie. Like we made $2 billion. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They find a way. They factor in advertising for other movies and shit to their budgets. Like I think they do some weird shit with numbers that infuriates people. I'm glad I never had to experience that. Argue with a bunch of lawyers about how much money a movie actually made versus how much you're supposed to get off the back end.
They're arguing that with the Matrix movie that came out. Like the people, I think they were promised it was going to be in theaters. HBO's like, we didn't promise it was going to be in the theater. Like
Didn't Scarlett Johansson have a problem with
it's
that?
a very similar topic.
Yeah, that was with what movie was that?
Black Widow.
Black Widow. And they streamed it.
Yeah,
She missed out on all that money.
Yeah, because contract.
Yeah.
That's what Tom Cruise's back end is too. That's probably why they're waiting to put out like Top Gun and all that stuff. So he gets money based on ticket sales.
It seems like people are back going to movies though, right?
Jackass and Spider-Man. Really good, yeah.
Destroyed, right? Isn't it one of the biggest movies of all time?
They didn't give a fuck about nothing.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
So if you look at that, so you know the market's there. People are still going to movies. What are they waiting for?
But even those are going to both be on Paramount in the next probably 60 days, 35 days. It's in March. I don't know the date. Both of those top two movies that were out are going to already be on streaming in the 90 days of them coming out, maybe a little bit more than that. Interesting. You just wait it out.
They got dumped up in the theater industry. It was really like AMC and all those chains.
Oh, they're fucked. They're fucked. A lot of them went under, right?
Yeah. And I didn't know this. They don't make a dime off of it. They live off popcorn.
Really?
That's what I heard. I'm not sure.
Really?
What? Yeah, that's why the shit's so. That's why the food's so expensive.
What?
Yeah.
They don't make
Like
a piece.
renting it or leasing it. It's like all the ticket sales money goes to them.
Wow. That's a good deal. Good deal for the movie company. Yeah. That's a great deal. But the thing is, if you have a nice TV at home and you can just get it off of like Apple TV, wouldn't you rather? At this point in your life, But maybe if it's a comedy movie, like we're talking about, someone's doing stand up, want to go to the movies and see it, large crowd.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm with you on the live music, live comedy. And I grew up in the movie theater. I fucking actually listen. When I see a commercial for a movie, I cheer that it does well. So I go to the movie theater and watch it. And then you just hear the movie close. And you lost an opportunity with a fucking movie theater. I grew up in the movie theater. We all know it's better than going to the fucking movies. It's great. I walk in the movie, I think this is my, I tell my wife where I'm going to be. I take the phone, I shut it off, and I watch a little matinee movie. There's 8 people in the movie theater. They have stoned to the gills. Maybe you stop, you little fried rice. When you don't think enough, you want to eat a raisin veg, and you watch your fucking movie. That's tremendous. Not moving at home. Your daughter's going to come in and ask you a question. Joey D is going to call you and ask you a question. You got to go to the bathroom so it's more accessible.
Right.
You want a soda, when your wife made you a sandwich, I'm going to go say, you just lost it. There's been 10 movies I've watched in the last 2 years. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Like, yeah, you watched the Outlaw Josie Wales 30 times.
You know what the deal is with that motherfucking movie. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
These are my words of life. Remember that scene?
That's it. I watch it once a month. Just to keep me fucking focused.
Pull that scene up. Pull that scene up. The Comanche chief talking to Outlaw Josie Wales. That's a great scene. That one's great. It's a great one.
There's a couple movies when I see it. This motherfucker's bad. This is my dog here. That guy should be in the Hall of Fame. Because he only did like 3 movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This and White Comanches. Really? Yeah, that's the Indian movie. Look at it.
This is a great fucking
What's the
scene.
great scene?
It's a great scene. This was like one of the first depictions of the Comanche in a movie that I can remember. That was like a big movie. Scoot ahead till they talk, Jamin.
I am Timber. I am Timber. I'm Joseph Wales. I have heard you're the Grey Rider, but not make peace with the Blue Coats. You may go in peace. I reckon not.
I have nowhere to go.
And you will die. I came here to die with you. Live with you. Dying ain't so hard for men like you and me. It's living that's hard. And all you've ever cared about has been butchered or raped. Governments don't live together. People live together. Governments, you don't always live fair words. Fair fight. Well, I've come here to get even one from you. I came here like this so you'll know my word of death is true. And that my word of life is that true. Bear lives here. Over the antelope, Comanche. So will we. And we'll only hunt what we need to live on, same as the Comanche does. And every spring when the master and the green, the Comanche moves north. You rest here in peace. Butcher some of our cattle. Jerk beef for the journey. The sign of the Comanche. That will be on our lodge. That's my way of life. And you word of death. Here in my pistols, there in your rifles. I'm here for either one. These things you say we will have. We already have. That's true. I ain't promising you nothing extra. I'm just giving you life and you're giving me life. And I'm saying that men can live together without butchering one another. Said that governments are cheap by the double tongues. There is iron in your words of death for all Comanche to see. And so there is iron in your words of life. No signed paper can hold the iron. It must come from men.
The words of Tannenberg carries the same iron of life and death. It is good that warriors such as we meet in the struggle of life or death. It shall be life.
Great fucking song. That's a
Fucking tremendous.
fucking.
Now you know why I watch the fucking thing. This makes you want to stab a motherfucker. This is honesty. 76. He had already done the 4 or 5 in Italy, came back, and they finally made him a fucking star. This is just a masterpiece. I think it's a fucking masterpiece.
It's such a great movie. And it was a sophisticated Western. It was like a Western that had a great plot, it had great acting. Like he went from the earlier spaghetti Westerns and like evolved the art form. And then came back and did The Unforgiven, which is
That's a good big one.
that's it.
But those Italian movies he was making,
Oh, they were great.
we would watch them. Like I watched the show about a year ago, and they would send them there, and they would send them in Italian.
Oh wow.
So you didn't know what to fucking do, so you had to get a reprocess in the movie theater here, and then
So
they
they
watched
dubbed
them.
them in
Yeah,
Italian?
yeah, they were all Italian.
Wow. But I find that they did all the Westerns.
Spaghetti Western. What was the name of that director? Yeah, that motherfucker. He had
How wild is that? There's one dude obsessed with North American West culture in the 1800s. That was his obsession in those movies. They just found a thing, like a genre, that was like really perfect. And with Clint Eastwood behind it, I mean, come on, man, we couldn't get enough. How many movies did he make where he was a cowboy in the West?
For them, maybe 5 in Italian.
How many movies do you think he's made where he's a cowboy?
Oh.
It must be 20 movies. How many movies has he made where he's a cowboy?
I don't know.
To find out how
Sarah and the fucking horse.
there's a lot of
4 or
fucking
5
cowboys.
made in Italy. And Sergio also did out in the West. Bronson, the horse, all that shit was him. Bronson went over there too and became a star. And then he came back. That's why when you look at Clint Eastwood's, this is a fucking tremendous thing for you. Clint Eastwood and John Bronson's early labels, what they got movies. When they came back to the States, they came back with where mostly we lived. His paycheck was enormous. They came back stars. You know, I might say, I saw Wesley Snipes on Major League. That's great. You didn't see this motherfucker. He was in Italy. He did a bunch like him and all those guys did like all those TV shows in the 60s when they went over there. Fucking became and then came back. So Bronson, you had to see. Did you see that thing they had a couple months ago about Steve?
No.
When he came into your fucking getting fucking raped.
Really?
Everything. Your wife's shoes. Fucking, I want toothbrushes. I want sunglasses. Find no one. If you could ever see Steve McQueen's writing, you will die. He was getting one bump. He was getting 750, which is $3 million now, at least, right? And then Bucko was the one that went for the $1 million. It was fucking Marlon Brando. He's there going to do Superman. 96 mil.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that what he got for Superman?
yeah, but that was the biggest check at that time. Like,
Wow.
because if they counted the lines, it was like 2 scenes. And that's the movie that he wouldn't even fly back from when he told him he would read the script, run it down. So he started fucking up from the beginning, like, you want me to read the script? $100,000, right? They're like, what? That's unheard of. I think they also gave money for Apocalypse Now. That's why they got so pissed. They showed him fucking fat as a horse.
Yeah, they kept him in the dark.
Yeah, they kept him in the dark. I only showed his fucking head because he said, I'm doing my way. I don't give a fuck. I'm Constance Sinatra. I'm doing that. I want to fucking do it. Tremendous, all that, all those stories. When they went back with a vengeance. Bronson was just an asshole because he was pissed. They were pissed. That's why when I did that thing once, they were talking about when they did the one with the 7. What's that movie called?
Magnificent Seven?
Yeah, the original Magnificent 7. All those American actors were furious.
Why?
You Brenner.
Why were they pissed?
Because how the fuck is you Brenner This motherfucker was in some movie dancing with a hat on. And now you want to put him in a movie with us. And we're fucking gangsters. This is McQueen, Bronson, James Coburn. These are like gangsters. So they're like George C. Scott. So they're like, fuck it. We're going to torture you, Brent, every night. So they would go to a Formosa and they get fucked up. They call us, we're going to suck your dick. They had a fucking, the producers had to go talk to them, had to give the guy a break. They were like, there's no way this guy's coming in and taking our work.
Why did they have a problem with you, Brent?
Because he was from another country.
Oh,
They were
where's
like,
he from?
I don't know, fucking Bulgaria. Who the fuck knows? He's like a half a vampire. I don't know where the fuck he's from. I just know that he came when he did the Magnet. They were not happy. They were not happy.
Interesting.
They were not happy that the king of that.
Oh, the king of
They
that.
were like, how the fuck? Magnificent Seven. You know what they're dancing?
He was great in Westworld.
Oh, he was great and everything. That dude, there's some fucking. Look at the other part. Everybody's talking about the movies. We got no fucking savages. There's no more. What's that old dude coming up? He played Croatian guy. He's the first. He was a Mexican. Anthony Quinn.
Oh, yeah,
Those
yeah,
dudes
yeah.
were tough guys. I just saw 110th Street. He was fucking great across 110th Street. When he's a cop in Harlem and shit. Tremendous. Those guys were savages. We don't have savages no more. We got like little buildings. That's why he was so impressed when you saw that savage with Jagger.
Yeah.
Because he just brings it. That's I studied that motherfucker because he's the perfect communicator. Those six Jagger. Oh my God, he communicates.
Yeah.
He's a conduit. He don't crack jokes, but he does crack jokes.
Does tell a few jokes.
He does
got
tell a
little
few.
references and shit.
Bro, when you watch Ole, 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 that's not us getting them. This motherfucker did a South American tour. And the first thing he does when he lands is meet with a local coach. So you get the dialect from that city.
Wow.
And you watch him go on in the boat. You should see when he landed in Cuba. In Cuba, he came out there talking Cuban Spanish. It was really beautiful.
What did he say?
You know, what's going on? You know, whatever. I don't know what he said. Coño. He gave a couple coño.